Hi everybody, this is Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to make this 3D daffodil granny square. I think it turned out pretty nice. I'll give you a quick measure here. It's about a 6.5 inch granny square. And it's not extremely hard, but I would consider it an intermediate pattern. So if you're a super beginner, I probably wouldn't recommend starting out on this granny square. But definitely intermediate, you'd be able to do it. So let's go ahead and get started on it. Okay, for this project, you can just use scrap yarn if you want. That's fine. I'm using Caron Simply Soft. It is a 100% acrylic medium 4-weight. You don't have to use this brand. Any type of medium 4-weight will work. So I'm using a white, and this one is a neon orange. This one's called Super Duper Yellow, and then a green, Kelly Green. So like I said, any type of scrap yarn. You don't even have to do it in these colors. It's your flower, however you want to do it. But those are the colors that I'm using. And then I'm going to be using a size J, which is a 6mm crochet hook. And as always, I just want to take a second to ask you, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, if you wanted to do so right now, if you look down in the lower right hand corner, you'll see a little red subscribe button. If you click on that, you'll automatically be subscribed, and then you won't miss any of my videos. And also, if you like this granny square, you think it looks pretty cool, if you could give it a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. That really helps me out. So what we're going to do is go ahead and start off with a slip knot on our hook. Now I'm going to work a chain of 4. So we're starting on the center of the daffodil first, the orange part. Now, if you want to use the magic circle here, that's fine. You can do that. But I chained 4, and now I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch to form a ring. Just like that. And now I'm going to chain 1. Now that chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to work 16 half double crochets through the center of my ring. So I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to go through the center of the ring, draw up a loop, and do my half double crochet. And I want to do that 16 times. So that was 1, this one will be 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. Okay, I got my 16 half double crochets. So what we're going to do for round 2 is we're going to be working in the back loops of our stitches. So if you look at your stitch, I'll just show you real quick. You go through, you see there's 2 loops. The one closest to you is the front loop, and the one furthest away is the back loop. We are going to be working in the back loops only. So we're going to end round 1 by slip stitching into the back loop only of our first half double crochet. Not that chain 1 way down there, it's probably lost anyways, but the first half double crochet, back loop only, and slip stitch. Just like that. So now if you pull your tail, it'll usually close up that circle just a little bit more. But we always we'll sew it together at the end later, so that little circle, or that hole there, will be gone. So now you'll have 16 stitches at the end of round 1. So for round 2, what we're going to do is chain 1. That chain 1 does not count as a stitch. We are going to work 1 double crochet right there into that very same spot through that back loop only there that we just slip stitched into, a double crochet like that. And now I'm going to put a double crochet into the next stitch, back loop only, double into the next, back loop only, and then the next one I'm going to put 2 double crochets into the back loop only. So 2 into the same stitch, back loop only. So what we did there was we did 3 double crochets in a row, and then we did 2 double crochets into the next stitch, all into the back loop. And that's the repeat now. So I'm going to go ahead and put 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Back loop only. And if you notice kind of when you go through the back loop, it kind of stretches out because you're only going through 1 loop. I always like to kind of grab it right here with my thumb so it doesn't stretch out so much as I work my double crochet. That's just what I do there. So I need to do 3 in a row. There's 1. Remember, back loops only. 2. 3, and then the next one is going to be 2 doubles into the same stitch, back loop only. Again, 1 double into the next 3 stitches, back loop only. And then 2 doubles into the next stitch. Just like that. Well, I'm almost done, so I'll go ahead and finish. 1 double into the next 3 stitches. And your last stitch should be 2 double crochets into the same stitch, back loop only. Now we're going to go ahead and in round 2 by slip stitching into the top of our first double crochet, but we're not going to be working in the back loops now. We're just going to go through both loops. So right here, your first double, go ahead and end with a slip stitch like that. Okay, you should have a total of 20 stitches now at the end of round 2. Now I'm going to put some picots around it real quick, just to give it a little bit of a decoration, I guess. So I'm going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch. I'm going to go right back into that same spot and single crochet. And then I'm going to single crochet into the next stitch. And here's where I'm going to put a picot. So I'm going to chain 3. And then I'm going to slip stitch. Some people slip stitch into their first chain to make a picot. I go through the side. I think it holds the stitch better, like that. Just go ahead and slip stitch right through there. And what that does is puts a little point on it, just for decoration. Now I'm going to put 1 single crochet into the next stitch. Remember, we're working through both loops now again, not just the back loops anymore. 1 single into the next. And now I'm going to put a picot. So I'm going to chain 3. Go back right back down through here. I grab these 2 side stitches and slip stitch. Like that. 1 single crochet into the next stitch. 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then picot into the next. And now I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way around until I get back to my starting point. And that's what it starts to look like. So 1 single into the next, 1 single into the next, and then picot. So chain 3 and slip stitch right here through the side to form your little ball on top. Just like that. So I'm going to keep repeating that pattern until I get back to my starting point. Alright, I'm coming to the end here. Now my last stitch was a picot. Now I'm going to end round 3 by slip stitching into my first single crochet over here. Not this chain 1, but the first single crochet. And you'll have 20 stitches, so and 10 of them will be picots. So, like that. Now I'm going to clip this yarn and start in on a new color. So there we have the center of the daffodil, which I'm going to take just a second to sew up that center circle so it's not in our way while we're trying to work the tail. Anyways, I just kind of go around. Pull it tight, and that should, while you're hiding the tail, it will close up that circle. Okay. Put it right side like that. You want the right side of your double crochets to be facing like that. So there is the orange part. So now I'm going to continue with my yellow, and we're going to make the petals, and this will be round 4. That's what we're going to be starting on. So we're going to be working in the front loops. These loops back here that we skipped before. There should be 16 of them. This one right here might be kind of hard to see because it was that slip stitch, but you'll get it. So there'll be 16 of these front loops, so we're going to be working in them. Now you can pick any one that you want to start in. So we're going to work, we want our work to be facing this way. So remember, we can start in any of these will be fine, but as long as it's facing you this way. That way our petals are facing the right way. I kind of fold mine in half a little bit and go into that one loop and start your yarn there. Now I'm going to start off with a chain of 2. Now that chain of 2 is counting as a half double crochet. Now in this same stitch, what I'm going to do, I did that chain 2, which counts as a half double. I'm going to do another double right into the same stitch, so 1 double. Remember, kind of hold it here so it doesn't stretch out real bad. Now I'm going to do a triple. I'm going to do another triple. Now I'm going to put a picot on this triple. So I'm going to do a chain of 3. And then I'm going to slip stitch back down right here into the top of the stitch, kind of right through the side. And that's going to make that little ball on top. And now I'm going to do another triple. 1 double, and then I'm going to do 1 half double. So that is our petal. It's a chain 2, which counts as a half double crochet, a double, a triple with a picot, a triple, a double, and a half double. Now I'm going to jump to the next stitch, and I am going to single crochet into it. That loop, 1 loop. Remember, we're only working in that 1 loop, and single crochet like that. Now I'm going to jump to the next stitch, and I'm going to make my petal, but I'm going to do a half double crochet. Start out with a half double crochet here. So I'm going to go into it, and that 1 loop, I'm going to half double, 1 double, and then a triple, another triple. This triple is going to get a picot on it. So we chain 3, go back in to the side here, slip stitch. Now we're going to do another triple, a double, and a half double, all into that same spot. And there we got our second petal. And that's what we're going to kind of repeat the whole way around now. So we're going to go ahead and single, kind of move my orange down here. So remember, we're working in these front loops only. So we're going to go to the next one, that 1 loop there, and single crochet into it. And then we'll jump to the next one, and we'll make our petal by starting out with a half double crochet. It was just that very first petal that we chained 2. So now we start out with a half double crochet, a double, triple, another triple, picot on this triple, so we chain 3, go back into the top of it and slip stitch there to form our little ball on top, and then we do another triple, a double, and a half double, single into that next 1 loop there, and then we work in the next loop and we work another petal, half double crochet, double crochet, triple crochet, triple crochet with the picot, triple crochet again, half double crochet, or I'm sorry, regular double crochet, and then a half double crochet. just like that. Single into, you gotta really look for the loops. I do anyways. Single into the next loop, and then make your petal, start your petal right here into the next loop. So I'm going to repeat this all the way around, and this is what it's starting to look like. Kind of starting to look like a daffodil, I guess, a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat that pattern all the way around. Alright, I have made it back around. I just did my last petal. You should have 8 total. And I have one little loop there left. I want to single crochet into that. Like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into the top of my beginning chain 2. Remember that chain 2 we did? Just go ahead and slip stitch right into that, the top stitch of it. I don't even think I'm getting it. It's the yellow, it's too bright for me. There it is. Alright, and then I'm going to clip off my yarn here. So we're done with that color. So now you'll have to fiddle with it a little bit. 8 petals on your daffodil. Now we're going to make leaves. So I'm going to bring up my green. And I'm going to start my yarn. You know, the single crochets that we did in between the petals. That's where I'm going to start. I always just squash this down for now. We can straighten it out later. That way it's not in the way. In any one of those single crochets. Go ahead and pull your yarn through and chain 1. Now I'm going to go back into the same stitch and single crochet. Now I'm going to work a chain of 3, but I'm going to work a loose chain, not real tight. And I'm going to jump over, cross this petal, and into that single crochet in between the next 2 petals. I'm going to single crochet right into it. Like that. And then I'm going to chain 3 again, not real tight, just kind of normal, or a little bit looser than normal. Jump over this petal here, and then that single crochet in between, right here, in between the 2 petals that we made. I'm going to single crochet right into it. And that's what I'm going to repeat all the way around. Chain 3. Cross over this next petal and single crochet right there into that single crochet that's between the 2 petals. So this spot right here. Chain 3 and repeat. Jump over that next petal, single crochet into that single crochet that's in between them. So I'm just going to repeat this pattern all the way around until I get back to the beginning. So this would be round 5 that we're on now. If we're counting rounds, this would be round 5. So just like that. Alright, I'm coming to the end here of round 5 here, my chain spaces. I just did a chain 3 here at the end, and I'm going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into my first single crochet. Now I'm not going to tie off because I'm going to continue with this color, but what I am going to do is kind of pull up on it so I don't lose my spot. So now I'm going to take these chain spaces and I'm going to push them behind the petals. Pull the petals forward. Remember, we can fiddle with them later. Make them work out better, but for now, just get them forward like that. Alright, and you'll have 8 chain spaces now. Now what we're going to do is find out where we left off. Now we're going to slip stitch over into our first chain space. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to put a single crochet right through that space. Now I'm going to chain 3. Now I'm going to jump to the next chain space, and I'm going to put a corner to our square, which is going to be the leaves. So I'm going to double crochet 3 together. So what I'm going to do is yarn over, go into the chain space, draw up a loop, and yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. And I want to do that 3 times. So that was 1. Again, I'm going to yarn over, go into the same space, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops. That's 2. One more time, yarn over, go into the same space, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2. That's 3 times. I have 4 loops on my hook that remain. Yarn over and go through all 4. So there's 1 leaf. We're still going to be working in the same chain space. I'm going to chain 3, and now I'm going to triple crochet 3 together. So I'm going to pull that leaf over, and I'm going to yarn over twice like I'm going to do a triple crochet. I'm going to go into the same spot and draw up a loop. Yarn over and go through the first 2 loops, and yarn over and go through the next 2 loops. I want to do that 3 times. So that was our first time. So we're going to do it again. Yarn over twice, go in, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops, yarn over and go through the next 2 loops. So that's 2 times. I'm going to do it one more time. Yarn over twice, go into the same spot, draw up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops, yarn over, go through the next 2 loops, 4 loops that remain, yarn over and go through all 4. So that was a triple crochet 3 together. Now I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to work one more time in the same spot, a double crochet 3 together, just like we did here. So we're going to yarn over, go into the same spot still, draw up a loop, and yarn over and go through the first 2 loops on your hook. You want to do that 3 times, so that counts as 1. There's 2. There's 3. 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and go through all 4. So we did our first set of leaves, and that's actually the first corner of our square. Now we're going to chain 3, and we're going to go to the next chain space and single crochet. Then we're going to chain 3, and we're going to go to our next chain space and work our set of leaves again. So we're going to do a double crochet 3 together into this chain space here, the next one. Four loops on my hook, yarn over, go through all 4. Now I'm going to chain 3, and now I'm going to triple crochet 3 together, same space, just like we did before for the other set of leaves. 4 loops that remain, yarn over, go through all 4, chain 3, and now we're going to do one more leaf. Here is the double crochet 3 together in the same spot. Four loops that remain, yarn over, go through all 4, and then chain 3, single crochet into our next chain space, chain 3, and then we'll work our set of leaves into the next chain space. And then once we get our complete set of leaves done, we will chain 3 and work a single crochet into the next chain space, and then we will work our set of leaves into the last chain space, and then we'll have 4 sets of leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and continue working my leaves until I get back to the beginning. Alright, I just did my last set of leaves, and I want to make sure I chain 3 after that last double crochet 3 together, and now I'm going to end by slip stitching into this very first single crochet, and now we can tie this color off and start on our next color. So we should have now 4 sets of leaves. So I'm going to be using white now. Now, these triple crochets 3 togethers are our corners. 4 of those. So we're going to start in any one of those right at the top of it. So here is the triple crochet 3 together. Go right there into the top of that stitch. Any of them, just right there in the top of it. Start your yarn, and I'm going to chain 1. This chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Now I'm going to go right back into the same spot, and I'm going to form a corner, which is 2 double crochets, a chain of 2, and 2 more double crochets in the same spot. So that forms the corner. Now I'm going to jump right here to this next chain 3 space, and I'm going to work 3 double crochets right into the space. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Oops. And then I'm going to jump to the next chain 3 space and work 3 double crochets into the chain 3 space. There's 1, 2, 3. Jump to my next chain 3 space and work 3 double crochets. And then my next chain 3 space, 3 double crochets. And now I'm at the corner here. Right here, here's the triple crochet 3 together. So right here in the top of the stitch, we're going to do our corner. So we're going to go right into it, and we're going to work 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets into the same stitch. And I'm going to repeat what we've been doing now. So I'm going to work 3 double crochets into each one of these chain 3 spaces. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll form a corner right here at the next triple crochet 3 together. So we're going to work 3 double crochets into the next chain 3 space. And then jump to the next one and work 3 double crochets. And then the next one, 3 double crochets. And then there's one more, 3 double crochets. And then right here into the top of the triple crochet, 3 together, we do our corner. So we work 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. And I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way around, so you can see it's starting to square off your flower a little bit now. You're working 3 double crochets in each of these 4 chain spaces here, and then your corner right here at the top of this triple crochet, 3 together. And then you'll have 4 more chain spaces left to work 3 double crochets in each of those. Alright, I've made it back to the end of round 7 is what we're on now, and you should have a total of 64 stitches. So what I'm going to do now is in with the slip stitch into my first double crochet, like that. Now I am going to slip stitch 2 times to my first chain 2 space, and I'm going to go around again. So I'm going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and in this corner here I'm going to work 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. Now what I'm going to do is just work 1 double crochet in every stitch across until I get to my next corner. And sometimes this guy gets lost, so make sure you pull back your corner here and don't forget him, otherwise your square will be lopsided. So I'm just working across, putting 1 double crochet in every stitch until I get to my next chain 2 space, or my next corner over there. Alright, I'm coming up on my corner. And I'm just going to go ahead right into the chain 2 space and work my 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. And I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way around. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to work 1 double crochet again in every stitch. Remember not to forget this very first guy. So 1 double in every stitch until I get to my next corner, and then I'll work 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the corner, and then I'll continue around in the same manner until I get back to my starting point. Alright, I've made it all the way around. I'm going to end by slip stitching into my first double crochet. Now if you want to make your square bigger, you can keep going around in the same manner as we just been going around to make it as big as you want. But you should have 80 stitches now, and I'm going to go ahead and tie off. I'm going to go around one more time with a row of single crochet. So that was in the round 8. So for round 9, I'm going to use some yellow, I guess. And I'm just going to go around it one time, edge it with some yellow. You don't have to do this. Single crochet. I'm just going to start in any corner. And I'm going to do the corner the same way we did before, but I'm just going to do it with single crochet. So I'm going to start with a chain 1, which doesn't count as a stitch. Now I'm going to go back into the same stitch and single crochet 2 times. Then I'm going to chain 2 and go back into the same stitch and 2 more single crochets. So just like we did with the doubles, but we're just doing it with singles instead. So 1 more single there. And now I'm going to continue around, making sure I get that first guy there. Putting 1 single crochet in every stitch until I get to my next corner. And that is where I will put 2 single crochets, a chain 2, and 2 single crochets. And then I'll continue around again, working 1 single crochet in every stitch. So it's pretty much the same thing we just did on the previous round, except for we're working single crochets instead of double. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this out, and I'll meet back up with you at the beginning. Alright, I made it back around. I'm going to go ahead and end with the slip stitch into my first single crochet, and now at the end of round 9 I have 96 stitches. I'm going to go ahead and tie this off, and now I'm going to take a moment to hide all my tails real quick, and then we'll see what we got. It's kind of what it starts to look like there. Alright, once you get all your tails hidden, you can kind of mess around with your petals, get them all straightened out, and that's it. That's all there is to it. Pretty little daffodil. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. Please don't forget to check out all my tutorials. I have hundreds of them. Also, don't forget to check me out on Facebook too. If you make this or anything else, I'd really love to see a picture of it. You could post a picture on my page. I'll put a link to that below in the description box. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you look up in the left hand corner right now of the screen, you're probably seeing my picture of my face about now. If you go ahead and click on that picture, you'll automatically be subscribed. That way you don't miss out on any of my videos. So thanks everybody for watching. Have a good day.